Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Morning Gardener Show, and you are here on a beautiful Monday, and it is 6:03 here in Maryland, and it is just great. It is just absolutely great. I got a chance to get out today, and but I am a little disappointed. A little disappointed in myself. I should have got out there in the yard today. I had a lot of information to bring you in reference to getting out into the yard, and I didn't do it because I worked last night and I did not get proper rest. So it kind of, I had to get some sleep. So that being said, I am uh, going to do it tomorrow and get it done. I'm get up early tomorrow. It's going to be kind of cold, so I'm all set for that mentally. Um, and I want to make certain that I have all of my tools ready. I did put up a beautiful, what they call it. I guess you want to call it a scaffolding or something for my peas. That will be my permanent spot for my peas and beans in that area, and also the I have it heavy enough to hold cucumbers, so it's definitely going to be a great thing. Um, I mean to tell you, I set it up real pretty. It's going to be sturdy. It'll hold up to probably 60, 70 pounds. And so that's enough to hold up, yeah, of course, it'll hold up beans. But I'm all set for with that. So that being said, definitely, plan out your garden before you go rushing out there and put things in and purchase things because you'll make a mess of it sometimes when you do it that way. Sometimes when you do it that way, you'll make a mess of it. But this time around, you want to make sure that you have everything kind of planned out. Um, I am looking at everything in the sense of what my needs are going to be when I put everything down there. Hello, how you doing there, Mr. Price? How are you doing? Have you had any videos put up here lately, or because I didn't. I want to make sure I haven't missed anything. Thank you for the thumbs up. Um, I'm just here doing another show on a Monday, hoping to get my viewership up and hopefully having it locked in on a day that everyone knows when it is, which is Monday at 6 o'clock. And also, what is it? Hello, how you doing? Nature Nine and family. Thank you very much for the shout out. You did an excellent job on that video, and I do appreciate the shout out. And it's another gentleman. I think his name is well, of course I know his name is the Bull, but I haven't seen him in a while. But he gave me a shout out. He did a good job, and you did a good job. And it was oh God, who else? I don't want to forget anyone. They're getting the word out that the Morning Garden Show is the place to go to try to get. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. I saw it for myself. I looked at it. I said, okay. I said that's really good. So, and it was an excellent job that Nature Nine and family did. Nature Nine and family, excuse me, did on my shout out. Appreciate that very much. And look what he's growing, folks. If you go to his channel, check it out. Look what he did. Just look what he did. The plants look pretty. I looked at them. I said the plants are pretty. I said I like to be online with people at their skill level as well. I like that. I saw it. I looked at it. I said, okay, all right. Good job. Good job. Oh man. And then another thing is um my potatoes here in Maryland says supposed to be planted out in on the 20th. Well, today is the 22nd. So what? I'm two couple days behind. I'm gonna get them out tomorrow, and I'm gonna make a list of what I need to do as far as getting things out there onto the property. And the potatoes is going to be the number one thing got to get out there. The potatoes, because they're almost rotted, almost and they got the big eyes everywhere, and you just see it. I have a video up that shows that what they look like a few days ago, and you'll see that they're ready to go in there. I don't put up videos. I don't have a gardening channel. I come here to get information. No problem at all. No problem at all. No problem at all. That's what we're here for, or I'm here for, because I've never had anybody on the show here. One time I did a show with a channel. I can't remember their name, but they're beautiful people. At the moment, I can't remember their name, but they did beautiful. They did a good job with the interview and everything. Had me up there for maybe an hour answering questions when people call in, and I thought that was really interesting. So I want to say thank you to everyone that stopped in today. Family, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, these are the hardcore people that come and see me every Monday. I want to thank you because I went out and made another purchase today. Um, got to Lowe's, and they're still not completely set up. I'm gonna just say that they do have. It's just a wonderful thing. I looked at it and I said, "Wow, they don't have everything set up yet." Do they have enough of supplies this year? I think they do. When you look at the back lot, it is loaded with all kind of mulches and composters and everything, and soils and that sort of thing. They had some seeds there, not a lot, but they had some seeds. And I looked at that. I got to tell you, it's just an incredible thing. Now, um, I did go out onto my property yesterday, and I fertilized my fruit trees with my liquid fertilizer from weeds and grass clippings. And this material was about 8, 9 months old. I started making it before the pandemic and left it sitting up. And I said, okay, I'm gonna use it. I say, hi, Morning Gardener. Hi, Morning Gardener and gardening family. Hello, how you doing? All right, people stopping in and saying hello to each other. I appreciate that. Uh, the I went out into my property, folks. I mean, and it just felt so good. It felt really good. I looked around. I had some of the grapevines get covered over by some kind of wild weed. And the wild weed is, I don't believe, at least I'm hoping, that it did not kill my grapevines. My One of my kiwi plants look very bad. I don't know what's going on with it. Uh, it looks alive, but it had a lot of dieback. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, it wasn't that cold this year, but it had a lot of dieback. And I'm considering, just kind of letting it go because, uh, I really, the type that it is, um, Isaiah, it's Isaiah, I believe, uh, kiwi plant. And, so now I have another one, which is a hardy kiwi. And they say hardy because it definitely does not mind cool or cold nights. So that one will go onto the property probably tomorrow. I think I'll just take it out there and put it in. I have to find a spot for my what that wonder what you call a wonderful pomegranate. Even though I don't have a lot of faith it's going to make it, I just don't. You know what I mean? I just don't. And then I keep thinking, where am I going to put it at? Where am I going to put this plant in? I want to put it in a area where it doesn't get direct wind on it, direct cold on it, and it might make it because um, it says from zone 7 to zone 10. Well, I'm in zone 7B, and so that's going to create a problem right there at the edge of where it can't take the cold here. I'm right there. Uh, and I've talked to people that said, hey, if you let it get a couple of years old, it may be able to make it. You want to make sure of that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, okay, I appreciate their help, but I don't know if this is starts some of the C. Let's see. I said, good afternoon, morning gardener. I started sowing the seeds and some far so good. Great. I'm glad to see everybody. I was talking about nature, nine, and family. Definitely got some watermelon started, and he used the technique that I've been using. And I gotta say, it's it's so interesting to see someone else using that. And he did a really good job on it. I looked at it, the plants were standing up just like it's supposed to work. Um, and he picked up on a lot of good information that I was giving out when he was doing this video. And he said, things like, the way that nature intended, seeds fall to hit the ground. They don't bury themselves in the ground. They hit the ground and they sit there until the conditions are right. And then once the conditions are right, then they do what they was designed to do, and that is that they start off growing. Um, and I started doing that and realized that I could get plants to germinate so much faster. Instead of waiting 7 days, it may only be 3 days. Or some I've had some come up in 2 days. And when that happens, I said, I'm on to something, and I said, this is something I'm going to adopt and keep. But I got the idea from a tree that I set on top of the ground. And in fact, I was looking at that tree yesterday. It's a what is that? It's a Granny Smith. It's a Granny Smith tree. I set it on top of the ground, poured some what they call it, compost around it, and left it. And just left it. I didn't even stake it. I just left it. And it was real loose for the first few weeks or months. And then after about a year went by, another year went by, that thing locked in the ground just like it was um, uh, planted in the ground. But the reason why I did that, because I have clay soil. And I know one of the most important things for plants to get is oxygen to the roots. So I said, what better way to do that than to set the plant right on top of the ground and have it root itself in. And that way, all of the main parts of the trunk and the root system are above this hard clay soil. Therefore, it'll always be able to get oxygen to the roots. And the tree did better than the fruit trees that I planted in the ground. It started producing fruit faster. It started producing more fruit. And I said, I'm on to something here. I'm on to something here. And needless to say, the apples that it produced were sweet. The apples were very sweet. And I thought that was a really good deal, was to taste food from a tree that wasn't even buried in the ground. It simply sent its roots in the ground, locked itself in, tied itself down, and it started doing its thing. And that's what happened. I love that when a plan comes together like that. So from here on out, I will. Hey, how you doing, CC? All right. Let's see. Simply me. Hello, how you doing there, Simply Me? And thanks for dropping in. But I want to let you know that I did it, and it really liquid fertilizer, but it seems like it should be used because of guess getting funky. That's a goodness. Man. Yeah. Any of the fertilizer that I made always had an odor to it the first 3 weeks. After that, the odor dissipates. Um, the weeds, you can actually keep the weeds and the grass clippings in the liquid. It'll turn into just nothingness. I mean, for lack of a better word, you do not have to worry about the large pieces because they turn into like a I guess a liquid is the best word for it. Yeah. And so I did it one year where I fed them that liquid fertilizer. See, what I'm saying is this, is that when you have all the material on your property that you don't need to go out and buy it necessarily. You don't have to do that. The 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 liquid fertilizer is free. You can make it at anytime you need fertilizer. You can make it. Hello, Backyard Gardener. Hello, how you doing? Backyard Gardener. Hello, how you doing? According to organic farmers, most of the counties, liquid, liquid. Okay, all right. I'm just glad. I'm just glad everybody's stopping by. Um, and the thing about it is, plants don't really need you. They just don't. Okay, they really don't need you. I see people on certain websites and also on YouTube, and they got these plants. These are professionals are messing with plants so much they just stay on them. Oh, well, we must cut it here and there, and drill holes in it there, or we're going to gurgle it here and all that. And I'm listening to all that. And I'm saying, oh my God, I'm glad I'm not a tree. I'm just happy I'm not a tree. Oh my God. They won't let it grow and do its thing. I learned something from a viewer once on my channel years ago. She was producing all these peaches. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. And she produced all these peaches, and she never messed with the tree. Because I asked her questions. I asked her specific questions. I asked her, "Do you feed the tree?" She said, "No." Do you prune the tree? She said, "No." I said, "So what do you do to the tree?" She said, "I just leave it alone." And it was producing all these peaches. And I thought that was quite interesting. So from that conversation, I learned that some things you just don't need to keep messing with. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But I watch people on their channels, and I try not to be that guy that knows everything there is to know about gardening. I don't want to be that guy. I hear people on, and people call in and they answer questions, and they seem like they know all the answers. And and I'm thinking, well, you know some things about trees and some things about soil, but you'll never learn it all. You will never ever learn it all. It's an ongoing thing. You will never ever get to the point where you'll learn everything there is to know about soil. I don't care if you live 1,000 years. And the same thing goes for trees. Trees will keep amazing astonishment each year. It will keep showing you stuff that you said, wait a minute, I thought I knew this tree. Even down to the pros who grow thousands of trees for money still keep learning things. And that's about the size of it. They keep learning things if their mind is open. But I do this one thing to my soil. I keep it covered. I keep my soil covered. Right now, I went out there yesterday and I looked at my soil and I said, look, this is beautiful. Not completely covered because I'm still working on some things. But with the weeds that dropped and laid on the ground and all of the grass that laid on the ground during the winter, and it is amazing to me because the ground is waking up and the biology in the soil is moving about, coming out, it's eating and making things grow and producing nitrogen. Oh my God. I love it, folks. Somebody stop me. I love it. Oh my goodness. I know I'm addicted to this. I can feel it when I get that rush when I talk about it. And I got to tell you another thing. Sometimes I know I bore the absolute heck out of the old lady because I just be talking about it and I got to catch myself. When it comes to gardening, I got to catch myself and go, oh my God, how much is she going to put up with of me talking about gardening? And then I thought about it. I said, wait a minute. I was gardening before I met her. And I told her, I said, I got a problem with this. And she said, what do you mean? I said, I love gardening. I just do it all the time. I think about it all the time. I dream about it. It's just, I'm amazed by it. And so I want to let you know up front, I'm just telling her, that, this is going to be part of me to the day I leave this world. But I digress. I'm just crazy about gardening. I went out there and I looked at all my trees yesterday, and they were healthy and they're doing well. And I do have some issues about some trees that are on my property. I'm going to convert over to probably a pink lady. I'm gonna convert them over to pink lady because um, the thing about it is I only have one pink lady tree, and I'm not gonna let nothing happen to that, and me not have at least some grass on other trees from the pink lady. I'll put it that way. And trees everywhere have gone through the roof as far as the cost because of the pandemic. They've gone through the roof, and I saw some of the data. It was $26 and some change. I was absolutely floored when I saw it. I couldn't. I almost stopped making the video because I said, "Wait a minute, how is this $26?" And then when I read the labels and I didn't see that word on there that said dwarf, semi-dwarf. I didn't see that. So I said, oh, these are standards. And they didn't put it on the label. I didn't see it on the label because a standard is not very expensive when you compare it with a dwarf tree. A dwarf tree is expensive because it's a little bit more work that goes into making it a dwarf. Okay. It's a more of a compact tree in certain circumstance. Now, because if you feed a dwarf tree properly, it's going to get big. Disregard the label that says 8 to 10 feet. You disregard that. I got dwarfs out there right now on my property. Some of them will get up to 22 feet tall and be across close to 10 feet wide. So they do get some size to them. So don't let people tell you that. Let's see. I got a pear tree today for $25. So excited. Okay, now you say you got a pear tree today. You can't just put that up there and not say, where did I get it? Was it a dwarf? Was it a semi-dwarf? Was it a standard? Because you did a good thing. Everyone's buying trees this year. Now, I like the choice of tree that you purchased, which is a pear tree. I'll tell you why. If it ever got tough, really tough, a pear tree is more meatier. You can actually put something on your stomach with eating a pear tree. Peach trees, I see people buying more of those because they're more familiar with them. But the pear tree will put something on your stomach. And so during hard times, I would much rather have a pear tree on my property because I'm going to be able to eat with that one. I'm be able to go to work. I can go to work and say, oh God, times are so rough right now. Oh my God, I need something to eat. Oh, the pear tree outside. I could eat 4 or 5 pears and go to work and work all day off of those pears. Okay, let's see. Okay, is it standard for my from my nursery? Okay, thank you. You said from your nursery. You have a nursery? No. I mean from the nursery in your location. That's what you meant. Now let me just say this to you. You can keep a standard tree small. I repeat, you can keep a standard tree small, but you're going to have to prune it. And pruning to keep any tree small has to be pruned in the summer months, and they will stay smaller. They tend to stay smaller. If you prune them in the wintertime or fall, they will give you more sporadic water shoots and everything kind of growth when you prune them during those times of year. But as I said earlier, summer pruning keeps a tree smaller. So when it starts growing out, it'll just kind of stay smaller. You can control what size you want your tree to be. You do not have to let that tree get out of line. Now, a pear tree that is a standard can get 30 feet tall, 25 feet wide, and you just be looking at tree. And above there will be nothing but goddamn pears all the way at the top that you'll never, ever be able to reach. So before the tree gets that big, you put it in the ground as soon as the soil is workable, and you put it in the ground. Do not fertilize the tree when you first put it in the ground. You put it in the ground, you let the tree acclimate to that soil. Once that tree starts sending out any kind of growth, then you can fertilize it. But do not fertilize it first. Let it get familiar with the ground. And when you see any growth, buds, leaves, anything like that, then you want to start fertilizing. Now, the other thing is once you get the tree in the location that's 6 to 8 hours of sunlight in that area, or 6+ hours, um, the tree needs to be properly pruned. The first cut you're going to make is you put your foot up to the tree, and right there where your knee is, and it's going to sound graphic, but you cut it off at a 45-degree angle. As long as it's a tree that has one variety on it, but if you got multiple varieties on it, yeah, of course you're going to not be able to just cut that off. But you cut it off a 45-degree angle right there at the same height as your knee from the ground. And guess what? It's going to start sending out scaffolds at that point. And it's going to start sending scaffolds out and out, scaffolds. And those scaffolding branches will be beautiful because all the fruit will be right in front of you. But if the scaffolding is up high and you let the tree start growing from that point, it'll just send those branches up high, and they'll always be like that. You always be able to look at your scaffolding branches like this, and you don't want to do that. You want to look at your scaffolding branches like this. That's how you want to look at them. You want them right there in front of you, so all your fruit is in front of you, and then you kind of keep the tree trained to keep it down. Pear trees have a tendency to want to send all their branches straight up. That's what it wants to do. It wants to send them straight up. It don't want to do this out like that. But you can actually tie off some of the branches once you get some good scaffolding branches and put them in this position, tie them to a weight, or some people put a spike in the ground, and you want to hold them kind of, instead of them being straight up, you want to bring them down about right here. And once you bring those branches down, it will cause those branches to want to produce fruit. So that's another way you can kind of speed up your fruit production. Oh my goodness, it sounds that's good. Oh, I forgot. I gotta get my ginger in the ground. Everything's happening all at once right now because everything is warming up. It's getting to the point. My potatoes got to go in the ground tomorrow. I also might have some time to do the ginger, but I got to tell you, folks. And then I'm working at night, and I got to figure something out. So you still got your own life, even though you're planting this stuff. But I'm going to plant a lot of food this year because I know. And I got a feeling, deep in my soul, it's going to get funny this year as far as food cost. It's going to go through the roof. I know it. I can feel it. And I've been listening through the grapevine, and I'm hearing it out there in the, oh, you're welcome. Anytime. Simply Me. Remember to subscribe to my channel so that way when I pop on the air, you'll see me. And, and also I can find and go and check out, see what you're doing. Because I think you're new to the group. But all of us are family. All of us. Every last one of us in this room is family. I am having a great time. Hello, how you doing there, Mr. Lewis? Mr. Lewis, hello, how you doing? How you doing? Food costs are to go up. Estimated to go up. Yeah, it's going to go up, but I mean, it's going to skyrocket. Food prices are going to absolutely skyrocket. You're going to see prices that you can say, oh my God, how am I going to keep doing this? But if you got those tomatoes or cucumbers, that fruit and everything growing in there, and try to get those plants that are very valuable on your property, make sure you get. Oh, the gentleman here, yes, I said we're all family. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And Nature 9 and family, good move on those watermelons. I wish you much success for them. Now I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing, family. Family. I've got to tell you, I'm planting my watermelons in a 40-pound bag of compost. I'm not putting them in the ground. Reason, the bag warms up quicker. It's nothing but food. And I will take a utility knife, poke 10 holes, flip the bag over, cut out a square. I done this years ago. It grew a lot of cantaloupes, a lot of watermelon, and just put 2 seeds in the bag or 2 plants in per 40-pound bag. Okay. And when you do this, you will grow watermelons. The soil won't, excuse me, the plant will not be competing with weeds. They don't like it. Watermelons don't really like that. They'll do it, but they don't really like it. Plus, if you have clay soil has to be kind of, you either got to hill it up, or, well, you don't have to, but you can hill it up. You can have more success. Hill it up, do a nice soil mixture with some peat and some compost and soil and some, what they call it, lime, just to make sure everything is nice and done right. Let's see, what is this? Black bag. Black bag. Okay. I think you're talking about putting down black, like a black plastic on the ground. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, but definitely, definitely keep watermelons warm. They don't like cold at all. They don't do well. They don't like it. Don't put them out there. Anyone that's growing watermelons, cantaloupe, and everything, cucumbers, and so do not put them out there until that soil reaches about 70 degrees. Don't put them out there. They'll sit there in the soil like this and not do nothing until something happened to them or they die or whatever. It's just not worth losing your nice plant. Keep them indoors until that soil temperature come up. You start getting the night temperatures around 55, 60 degrees, night temperatures. Then you want to start getting your watermelons out there. Don't put them out there cold because they don't like it. Let's see. Excuse me. I'm sorry. The most important reason is you'll stunt the plant, stunt it. And when you stunt a plant, you're doing damage to the way it normally would grow. It'll lock up and it'll just sit there on you, and you'll wonder why I'm feeding it, watering it, and it's not growing anywhere. Well, you stunted that plant. Black bag for the watermelon. Okay. I think yeah. Okay, because the sun radiates inside the black plastic, causing it to heat up. Yeah, absolutely. Um, Watermelon, cantaloupe, heavy feeders. Keep that in mind. Heavy feeders. Do not hold back that much on that fertilizer because they like it, and they'll do some weird stuff for you. The first when you first get them in the ground to get your plant up and growing and get everything going, if you're using a um, organic fertilizer, make sure you got one that's got a good amount of what we call nitrogen, because the nitrogen makes everything grow. Nitrogen makes everything grow. You got to be respectful with it, though. Follow what's on the back of the bag because that's going to help you. It's going to give you a guideline to go by. Some people go strictly by it. I don't. I don't. You know, I don't. I look at it and say, my soil is crap. Okay. Now, what do I do? We need to do to compensate for that, and then I do what I got to do to make it work. Hello, how you doing? Hello. Oh man, everybody coming into the room there. I must be the only one on the channel right now. I must be the only one. But it's okay. That's okay. We're all family. We're in here trying to learn because this year going to be a test, just like 2020 was a test for every last one of us. It took us to almost. I mean, it took us to the hilt where we was like, oh my God, and I feel a lot better now. Things are starting to ease down a little bit. People are still driving crazy now because they just got outside for the first time. They're like this, oh man, this is a race car, and they're driving all over the place. And I'm just looking at them going, oh my goodness. I said, wow, driving up fast behind you. I think I can stop. Wait a minute, this car has forgot I need brakes. Run into the back of somebody. I hope not. You're planning out your garden. Make sure you do a few things when you get them out there. You want to make sure that you get all your stuff that you need ordered up and everything. Want to make sure of that. Clean out the weeds. Clean out. Well, I'm gonna tell you something, folks. Let me explain something to you about when I say clean out the weeds. Make sure that you don't have too many weeds to compete with everything you got. But weeds are valuable. Weeds give the bad insects as well as the beneficial insects something to eat. Okay, and if they're eating other things, they don't necessarily eat your crops. People tend to get their crops eat up when they use a lot of enjoy your day. Nature 9. Okay. Make certain that you have some weeds around because the beneficial insects like to eat them. And when they eat them, they hang around. And the beneficial insects get rid of the bad insects. So you want to make sure of that. We also got another challenge coming up, which cicadas are going to be around this year. And don't lose your mind over cicadas. Cicadas are coming to do one thing: mate and go back in the ground. Mate and go back in the ground. They don't want to mess with you. They don't want to be eating up your crops. They want to eat. They want to be around for 4 to 6 weeks, and whatever hits the ground and lay on the ground, the cicadas will become fertilizer. So remember, if you see a whole bunch of cicadas and you sweep them up and everything, don't throw them away. Put them in the ground because they will be nothing but great fertilizer. 13 thumbs up. Thank you very much, folks. I appreciate you. I am getting much respect today on this show. People are definitely gravitating towards the show. I wish I could do commercials and tell everybody that, hey, it's Monday at 6 p.m. and also Wednesdays at 6 p.m. a show. And that way you know I'm coming. As long as I can make it, I'm coming. Let's see. Mondays what? What? Wait a minute. Monday. What? Yeah, Monday's a challenging day though. I have a song that I play at work when Mondays come. It's called Stormy Monday. They call it Stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. And and when I play that, people can tell what kind of mood I'm in, because I just play that song, Stormy Monday. And I had some good news today. Good news. Everything looks good. Today, I will plant my corn indoors. I got 2 varieties that I'm going to plant indoors. One being Silver Queen and the other one being, can you say it with me, folks? My family, can you say it with me? Peaches and cream. Mm-hmm. That's a good corn. That's such a good corn. Peaches and cream. Love it. See that now got me thinking about peaches and cream. Peaches and cream corn. It's incredible. They call it Stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I just can't wait. Yeah, Stormy Monday. Yep, Stormy Monday. Oh my goodness. And then you got to prepare the soil. Everybody does something different. My preparation of the soil, I'm just ahead of the game. That's why they call me the morning gardener, because I start last year prepping my soil. I started last year. All I did was simply take the soil. Let me get it right now. And I chopped and dropped the weeds most years. This year I couldn't do it because my knee was giving me a problem. And so the chop and drop, everything's laying on top of the soil. Everything's laying on top of the soil, and I got everything there, and it's just incredible. It's just absolutely incredible. Chop and drop. So I actually started fertilizing my soil last year in fall. Once those weeds hit the ground, boom, they lay on the surface. And when they lay there, the biology starts to feed on it, sending the nutrients into the ground. And that's what I do. I know what I'm doing. Your soil is, none of us sitting in this room right now have perfect soil. As you chop and drop, a good way to put it. I do not know about that. I did not know about that. The leaves. Yes. Yes. The leaves are excellent. When I do get my leaves, I spread them all over the ground and I leave them. And I spread them in thick. It could be 2 feet, 3 feet, because I know what they're going to do. They're going to go down. And then what I'm going to do is pull to the side, the leaves, pull to the side, and put my plant right there. Right there. Perfect. I see people, excuse me. It's a gentleman, I don't know who it is, but he's up the street from me. I'll try to go by sometime and meet the person. And I see this beautiful garden they got, and I feel bad for the guy. I feel really bad for the guy. I see what he's trying to do. I look at what he's doing, and he just needs the right information because someone gave him the wrong information. He got the wrong information. And what he did was he put, let me tell you what he does, first of all. And it's sad. I'm just thinking about it in my mind because it's sad. He goes out there every year and he struggles. And I watch when I drive by and I see him put that he gets these little plants and he does all this work and you can see it. And it's just tough to watch that because I used to do it. He got all these bags of leaves that he goes out different places and collect, obviously, because they're different types of bags and different plastics that they're in. And he empties them on the ground and he tills them in. Right there is where he's made a mistake at, where he tills them in. And also, we're going to go back a little further than that, he's still tilling his soil. Bad. When you see soil sitting there on a person's property, and the soil is naked. And when I say naked, there's no covering on it. There's no mulch. There's nothing. It's just being heat up. It's just getting super hot in the summer because of the sun just hitting the soil directly. All because someone tilled everything up. Okay, I want you to keep this in mind. When you go and you look at a garden and you can see the soil, that may not be the right way to do it, folks. Now, if it works for you, I'm going to leave it alone. But when you can see that soil, it's not being done correctly because that soil needs to be covered. You need to cover that soil to keep the temperature down when it's extremely hot out there in summer. You also need to keep your moisture, and you also need to keep your fertilizer. Let's say for instance, if you use fertilizer, when you put that fertilizer around the base of that plant or in the ground, and it rains a lot, it washes out your fertilizer. If you have to come out there because your soil is dry a lot, because there's no ground covering, you washing away your fertilizer. And when you wash away the fertilizer, the plant has nothing to eat, so it starts growing really slow or it gets stunted. So why not just mulch around the plant? If you don't have enough money to mulch everything, if you don't have enough material to mulch the entire garden, then mulch around the plant, 15 inches out from the plant, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick of grass clippings, and put them around that plant. Back them away from the plant, though. You don't want them right up on the plant. When you do this, you will cause the environment around that plant to be conducive to that plant's needs. You also have nice warm soil instead of super hot soil in the summer. You have moist soil around that plant. It stays moist. You also have biology activity around that plant because you put these grass clippings on top of around that area, and the biology is feeding on the grass and releasing their waste around your plant's roots. Come on now. So you're getting more fertility in the soil than you could ever imagine just by doing something as simple as using your lawn clippings, provided that you did not use chemicals on your lawn to kill weeds. Got to point that out right there, right off the bat. If you're using chemicals in your lawn that kills weeds, you don't want to put that in your garden. So that's all I want to say today. I want to help people because I think that I can help people. I've made all the mistakes. I made them all. And I did it for over 21 years. And I got tired and frustrated. One time I almost gave up God. I said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why this is happening. And then I started paying attention when I would go fishing. And I would look off into the distance at the forest that was around me. And I said, nobody fertilizes here. Nobody waters here. Nobody does anything here. And yet everything grows perfectly. Look at the tall tree above. And look what's underneath the canopy. Plants that like shaded areas. Look at the grass. Notice that the grass gets but so tall and then it falls and keeps fertilizing the ground. Then fall comes and the leaves drop and they hit the ground and they go back into the ground and they fertilize the soil. I said, no one's coming out here fertilizing anything. I said, wait a minute. And that's when the light went on and said, why don't you grow a garden like nature does? Why don't you grow like nature, imitate nature? And I started doing that. Now I have more food than I know what to do with. So I'm a lot better off because I wasn't going to do it man's way. No way. I took my gardening book, 761 pages, and I remember giving it away to a neighbor. I didn't want it anymore because it had things in there like when growing your garden, make sure that you till your soil down to 6 to 8 inches. Wrong. I don't do that anymore. And it's also said when you got make a party. Okay, all right, take care now, Mr. Price, Mr. Price, Mr. Price. All right now, Morning Gardener, when are you going to do a garden tour? I am going to do a gardening tour very soon, because I started shooting, not yesterday, but I think it was Saturday. So I wanted, and everything, and let me just say this to you folks, everything is growing now. Everything is growing, it's getting crazy out there. My blackberries plants are doing well. And by the way, folks, if you get an opportunity, buy you a blackberry plant. Oh, those berries are so good. And make sure you get one that doesn't have thorns. I hate the ones with thorns. God, I hate the ones with thorns. I bought one time. They're dangerous. Get caught in your clothes, stick you, and all kind of stuff. Yeah, I will do a garden tour. Just keep your subscribe to the channel. Make sure you know when it does pop up, you'll see. You might already be subscribed to my channel. Some people have. I say I love blackberries. Yes, they're very good. Blackberries are very good. I have to. Where I'm going to put them. Yeah, because blackberries, you put them somewhere, it makes you want to make sure. And remember, don't make the mistake a lot of people make with blackberries. They put them in the ground, they let them grow 16, 20 feet long. That's wrong. You let them grow, clip them off at about 4 to 4.5 feet. Cause the plant to bush out. When the plants bush out, all of that, those new shoots will produce berries. In essence, you'll get more berries. That's all I'm trying to say, basically, in a nutshell. I already subscribed. I'm already subscribed already. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. So, anything that anyone else want to talk about? Because I am going into overdrive. And this is a pretty good show today. Everyone stopped in. Some people came in and went out, I'm subscribed already. Okay, but I got to tell you, folks, the raspberries I have, I like what I did with the raspberry. I bought one plant. Now I got over 50, 60 plants on the yard. And I tell people, you buy a raspberry plant. I tell them, don't buy 5 or 10 or 12 raspberry plants unless you're in a hurry. You buy a raspberry plant, put it in the ground, and that raspberry plant will start sending out roots. And then those roots will start sending up other raspberry plants all over the place. And they'll pick the perfect area they want to be in. Because mine all growing around the base or around the roots of my, what they call that, pear tree. And that's where they want to be. And I never moved them. I said, leave them alone. That's where they want to be. Let them stay there. They know where they want to be. And I'm going to fertilize them tomorrow. I got a lot to do. I better write all this down because I'm keep adding to the list. And I want to make sure that I definitely do what I got to do. As Barry White would say, sure, you're right. Let's see. It's almost 7 o'clock, folks. I want to thank you all for tuning in and giving me the thrill of coming into your living rooms and pantry areas and And what is that? Wait a minute, that's somebody's office that I'm in. Okay. And so I want to thank you for that, because it is a wonderful thrill that people actually watch my garden show. And I want to thank you, and just keep stopping by, and just have a good garden season. And if I don't see you, but I will see you hopefully. And definitely get your groove on, get your growing on. Make sure, because growing a garden is going to be so essential this year. This is the Morning Gardener, and remember, keep on growing. Thank you very much.